Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Rassle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Hallbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rassle Rock. It's draft week, folks. Aren't you excited? Who's going to SmackDown? Who's going to Raw? Oh my God! Everything's all up in the air. Everything's all crazy. Oh my God!
Who's being drafted to the place they already were at working at? Like that was the dumbest part. I can't believe they didn't fix that from the last draft.
It's like a wasted thing to be like, oh, we're gonna keep this person. It's like you just wasted a bunch of our time.
Well, why did they just announce that at the end after they drafted characters and Raw will be maintaining these guys and SmackDown will maintain instead of saying Raw drafted Ricochet? It's like no, you didn't.
You kept him. You kept Ricochet. I can't even say it. Kept them.
Yeah. Which is actually kind of the saddest one out of the bunch because we were all hoping that maybe he'd get drafted or to NXT or something, and they would actually do something with him.
Yeah, I was actually hoping him and Apollo Crews would go to SmackDown with Daniel Bryan's writing and Paul Heyman. I think he's probably helping out a little bit over there. It would be nice to see those guys get some help instead of just being on Raw and just getting destroyed by the Hurt Business every week.
Yeah. I was a little
did
upset.
Raw keep a Hurt Business? I know they got drafted somewhere, but was that just keep? Was Hurt Business just keep on Raw? Yeah, that's like a waste of time to be like, oh, we kept a faction of folks. Come on.
Well, not only that, the way they did it, it takes the impact away from the drafts. Because Stephanie would get up and go, Raw took this person, SmackDown took this person, Raw took this person. And it's like, they used to do the thing where, remember they used to have the roulette? And they would have all the faces around the screen and then it would stop. And it's like Raw takes, and then it would be like, like Hardcore Holly or something like that. But like, it would at least give
no
no
whammies, stop.
Yeah. But at least it give like a little bit of impact to the draft, like who got picked, and like kind of like profile them as a big deal. And then when they just rattle these names off, nobody's a big deal. It was kind of sad. I mean, they did a good job with the New Day being
Yeah.
And then showing Big E's like the whole group sadness of them finally breaking up the New Day, which that's huge, man. How many years have they been together now?
Since 2014, I think. I think they started that, and I've seen a lot of people that are kind of upset about it because people really like the New Day. But at the same time, like this is huge, Big E.
They're back. Like that was
huge.
Thing. Like Apollo Crews comes back from a career-threatening injury, like wins tag titles, and then gets drafted like to to Raw, all in the same night. It's pretty major. It's pretty major stuff.
Yeah, that was huge. Kofi and Xavier back on the same night. That was really big. And Big E staying on SmackDown. Big E staying on SmackDown by himself is a good thing. I think that means that they're actually going to do something with him. Right. That they're actually going to give him this push that we all been clamoring for. We all said that he should have had a long time ago. So let's hope so, man. We'll see what happens with that. One of the worst parts of the draft was just like, we're drafting Seth Rollins to SmackDown and also the entire Mysterio family. It's like, oh, okay, so you just picked up this feud and just moved it on to another show. What the hell?
So you took this feud that everybody's pretty much tired of and go, okay, well, we won't put it on Monday anymore. We'll put it on Friday. And now you just got to suffer through it on Friday. But I think it's a big deal that Big E was separated from. There's not one guy in the New Day that doesn't have megastar potential. Like all the level of personality, all three guys. We already saw what Kofi did with winning the title at WrestleMania last year. Like how big and how moving that was. These guys all have major star potential, and they let Big E branch off on his own and hopefully run with the ball because I think he's going to be huge. I really do. They showed he has every facet. He has a mean streak. The guy can wrestle. He can brawl. He's endearing to fans. I think he's him versus Roman Reigns like 6 months down the line. I don't want to do it now, but 6 months down the line could be massive.
Yeah. And you got to figure with Lars Sullivan coming back.
Boo.
I completely forgot about him and what he looked like. I'm like, who the hell is that? And then they're like, oh my God, it's Lars Sullivan. And I'm like, is that what he looked like before? Like that doesn't.
There's something different about him.
Familiar.
He has a beard, which I didn't know was brown.
It's like he's like if you took like Vladimir Kozlov and Heidenreich and like every other big guy that Vince McMahon just wanted to push who had no talent. Like they're just a big person, so Vince McMahon wanted to get them over and give them TV time. If you just put them all into one person, just one amorphous blob, that is Lars Sullivan.
He's just an amorphous blob. That should be his nickname.
Yeah, amorphous blob. They're calling him the monster. But they call him the amorphous monster.
I have no problems with him as a wrestler. I mean, in NXT, he did an all right job in NXT. The problem is how they're pushing him. It's the freak. The freak is back with the freaking freak.
The freak?
Like, dude,
that's Scott Steiner. He's the freak.
Michael Cole said freak. Michael Cole said freak within a minute and a half, easily like 15 times. It's like
so hard.
It's like I get it. Stop. Like I don't get WWE with just shoving things down people's throats anymore. It's like let it get over naturally, man. I don't. Can
you just ride back off?
The only other big thing from the draft, this is only night one of the draft, right? They're still doing, is it Raw and SmackDown next week or this week? Yeah. So, all right. So 2 more nights of the draft. I'm looking to see if they're doing anything with NXT, if NXT is even part of it. Because if not, then like, what's the point?
They weren't in the pool.
No?
None of NXT was in the pool. And there was a rumor that Johnny and Candice were supposed to come up. But then they showed them on NXT this week, and it looks like they're still going on NXT. So I don't think they have any plans of pulling any NXT people up. I think they're just shuffling the deck, which I think the only good thing for Raw was they got AJ.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was a really good thing. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a couple of matches that we've been just dying to see. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure, put him in. I would love to see a program with him and Drew McIntyre. That'd be pretty sweet.
huge.
What's his name? Keith Lee, my boy. Put him in there with Keith Lee. See what they can do together. That'd be hot.
He can even if they finally get something going with these under guys, like him versus Apollo Crews, him versus Ricochet. Him and Ricochet would be, I think they might have wrestled before, but I can't remember because it was probably during the complete burial of Ricochet that if he did. I would love to see those matches. The thing that sucks is now I wouldn't even mind seeing AJ versus Dominic Mysterio. And now Dominic's on SmackDown, and we got to watch that storyline. So I guess Murphy's on Raw now without him?
I think he's coming up in the next group or whatever, the next pick. Whatever.
Doesn't he have to go, or are they just trying to separate Murphy and Mysterio's kid to just stop their creepy pedophile storyline they're doing?
Yeah, it's funny. I think that this would be a good opportunity now because, like, they've been talking about it forever for, like, having Dominic debut a mask. Like, if he got drafted to a different show, like, this could be the whole thing where he's like, hey, I'm going out there and I'm doing the mask thing. Dad, don't follow me. Like, if he did a whole thing where it was like they kind of riffed them from each other. He's like, I'm just doing my own thing. Not that I want to be against you or have you on my side, but just let me do my own thing. I'm going to do my own thing that happens to be a mask, and I'm going to use your name, which is your thing, and the mask, which is your thing. But I want to do my own thing, doing my own thing, using your thing.
So essentially what Cody Rhodes is doing currently?
Yeah. And he's like, what Cody Rhodes?
My father, what are you talking about? So what if I have the name Dream tattooed across my chest? Drop the name altogether. It's my own thing, but I'm doing it for my father. I'm doing it for my father.
I'm going to get a theme song that says Booyaka Booyaka on it. But like my own Booyaka, not you.
What's the other area code of San Diego? So do the Booyaka Booyaka and it'll do a totally different area code.
like the difference between 215 and 267.
Yeah.
Booyaka Booyaka 267.
Oh man.
Let's look it up right now just to see what area San Diego area codes are.
Well, they did just draw quite a few people or sign a few people to NXT. Some new people, Joe Gacy being one of them, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, former guest on Rassle Rock.
Yeah, man. I think was he ever on? I know we tried to get him on a bunch of times.
Yeah, he's been on a couple times. He was on Rassle back.
Didn't he pop on one of our watch-alongs like right at the last minute? We did a watch-along for one of our pay-per-views, and if I'm right, he popped on right at the end and talked for like a couple minutes, and the pay-per-view was over, and we ended the watch-along.
That might have been Gotti.
That was Gotti. That was Jason. That was Jason.
That was just a guy. He found the link and just jumped on.
And he was like, I've been drinking since Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Like, God, he was all kinds of. And he's like, what, the pay-per-view's over?
The pay-per-view's over? Yeah.
So the other area code is 858. So it would be Booyaka 858.
But yeah, man, they signed a few people. I'm trying to look up the list, but yeah, there was like 8 new members there. I'm really excited for this. Where are you at? Come on, Kurt Stallion, Anthony Green, Brandy Lauren, Josh Briggs.
The only one I'd ever seen before was that Anthony Green guy. I know that he was like in Evolve and stuff, and he was at the last like Cage of Death that I went to, the last CZW show that I went to.
Yeah, I think these are all Evolve guys, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I think this is part of the lawsuit. WWE just saying we're sorry you're getting sued for $10 million because we have Matt Riddle. Because I don't want to get into that. That's an ugly thing right now, and I hope it all like gets figured out. But I think that's the other reason why I can't get a hold of Trevin right now, is he probably thinks we're going to ask him. He probably thinks we're going to ask him about the $10 million lawsuit. Which
I wasn't before, but now that you said it,
I don't care to ask him about it because like it's just ugly and it tears a lot of people down and the company's down. So,
well, I said once I saw Gacy, I might have said this in a text thread with you guys. I said, and so begins Joe Gacy never responding to any of my text messages ever again.
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works.
As soon as somebody gets signed to WWE, it's even if they respond, there's like, yeah, you have to go through all these different channels and these different people, and then maybe we can talk.
But it's like Nick Burke will appreciate this because we're both Opie and Anthony fans. But like comedians would come on Opie and Anthony when they're nobodies, begging people to listen to their material and get them like, and then they would become famous on Opie and Anthony. They would stop taking calls and show up on Opie and Anthony. Next thing you know, they're on Howard Stern, thanking Howard for making them famous.
Yeah.
Amy Stewart just did that recently.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Opie and Anthony, because she was opening for Jim Norton back in the day, she would have never even became that big. Like she would have became big, but she was skyrocketed because how many fans were Opie and Anthony fans were following her. And then she went on Howard Stern and thanked him for like helping her career.
I can't wait till I get famous and I can no sell you guys all the time.
I can't wait to I can't wait to MF you on the show after you do it.
I'm like, yeah, I did this little show. We're like, oh yeah, Cory was on this show Rassle Rock for 5 years, and be like, never heard of him. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we'll do an entire show of just us telling you to go F yourself. It'll be an hour.
Yeah, it would be great. That would be the day Matt rejoins the show. He just sit there and be like, "Here we go."
Gloves are off.
It's an hour. Matt just ranting.
Well, if nothing else, we got to see a bunch of really good matches this week. AEW, we had Cody and Brody. Man, they tore it down with a dog collar match.
Cody and Brody.
Cody and Brody.
Cody and
Brody Lee.
Cody Rody.
That was the best match with a chain or a strap or anything I've ever seen. Those guys killed him. I'm not really thrilled about Cody winning the belt again, but we'll see where it goes.
Well, it's Cody Rhodes. He does that all the time. Cody always books himself to be over, but it was a hell of a match. Greg the Hammer Valentine was in attendance, which was really cool. He still looks exactly the same, but then again, the guy looked 70 years old when he was in the ring.
Right, like he's looked the same for the last 40 years. There's nothing changing about it.
No, nothing changed about it. He looked that way. Like he looked as old as he is now back then. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how old he is. He's got to be in his 60s. He just looked 60s when he was in his 30s.
Yeah,
it's like all those 80s guys. Remember Bill Murray in Ghostbusters? He was like 28 and he looked like he was 45 in that movie.
Well, yeah, Dan Aykroyd was 23 when he's on SNL, dude. He looked like he was 47 years old from the.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in the 70s and 80s. What was going on with the food and the pollution? But everybody looked like you're 45 by the time they hit 20.
That's because they just were chain smoking cigarettes all the time. These are good for you, I heard.
Their doctors were 4 out of 5 doctors approve Winston cigarettes. This is better than any other cigarette.
Winston, brought to you by the Ghostbusters.
Brought to you by the Flintstones. We got to see Ciampa and Kushida, man. That was a hell of a match on NXT. God damn, they tore it down. I'm loving this 100%. Both Ciampa and Kushida, but I'm really hyped that they're like pushing Kushida to the moon. Like that guy is going to be in title matches probably before the end of the year.
Yeah, he's going
to be. No, he's not.
I'm just kind of sad. I'm tired of getting. I'm really getting tired of the disqualification finish.
Ciampa
could have tapped out or passed out or something, and it wouldn't have hurt Ciampa at all because who he is, and it could have really, really pushed Kushida to the next level. And instead, they had Velveteen come out and get Kushida disqualified.
Did he have his gray in his hair again?
He probably still had it from the weekend before.
Oh, geez, Rick.
Oh, geez. SmackDown was really good. We were just talking about that. I love the New Day 7-time World Tag Team Champs, which is really cool. SmackDown Tag Team Champs.
I think it was 9 times. I think this was 9 times.
9?
I think this is the 9th time because when Big E came out earlier in the show, like they had that Falls Count Anywhere match, which was crazy. That was a good match. That was really a really damn good match. But before you went, oh, Thunderdome! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your 8-time World Tag Team Champs and feel the power. So
maybe you're not counting the 2 Raw championships they have or something. Maybe they have 2 Raw championships.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
World famous 9-time champs.
I'm so tired of the brand split, and then you got to claim how many SmackDown championships you have. It's like
what are they going to do now? That are the people? I don't even know who the Raw Tag Team Champions are. Who are the Raw Tag Team Champions?
The New Day Light.
Montez Ford and the fat one. What is it? The Street Prop.
The Street Prop.
He's not fat anymore. He's actually in pretty good shape.
Not bad at all. But just in comparison to Montez Ford, who's
everybody's fat to Montez Ford. Bianca Belair is fat to Montez Ford.
In relation to how not fat Montez Ford is. It's not that he's like in amazing shape or anything. He's just not fat. He's just
just Street Profits.
Blah. Yeah, so are they going to trade them to SmackDown now? And are the Raw Championships going to now be the SmackDown Tag Team Championships? Are they going to go through all that effort? Are they going to walk through a hallway and trade the belts?
That's what I was about to say.
Like, okay, now here, let's trade these.
Yeah, just you take those. I'll take these.
They just announce them like winning, and then you see them like, well, here, and they just take the colors. Well, I guess we're red now. You're blue.
Doesn't matter anybody. Everybody hates tag teams around here. The smartest thing to do would be to have to combine the belts to unify them. Honestly, because it just gets confusing otherwise. Because would that make New Day 10-time tag champs now? Because they would technically have the Raw tag belts at that point. That's so confusing. Like, why even bother? Like the Universal thing they did last year with the Fiend, at least it makes sense because it wasn't
making it
here's the championship.
Yeah,
right. Like, it's all right. You just changed the strap color. That's fine. But this is changing the entire, the actual belt.
Maybe they unify the belts. Maybe they finally unify the belts because they don't have a lot of tag teams.
Right.
Yeah. And then maybe, but then what do? Do you shift the tag team division to Raw? And then that's what your extra hour is finally dedicating the tag teams, which it's a shame because some of the tag teams they have are fantastic, especially Shinsuke and Cesaro. They're just fantastic. Yeah. And, you still have whenever the Viking Raiders come back and a couple other guys just sitting in the wings. And still you have Lucha House Party, which is probably one of the most underrated tag teams in the whole federation.
Yeah.
Mark, I need to hear your thoughts on this. One quick thing. Did you see that Braun Strowman took a mirror selfie for an abs check and there was a syringe on his countertop?
No.
You didn't
what?
see it? Oh, my God. It is
huge. Immediately?
Go on Twitter and look up Braun Strowman's steroids needle.
I'm looking it up right now.
I have to go for this.
Maybe that's why he's wrestling Roman Reigns next week. They're going to destroy him and take him off TV for being an idiot.
And also, why the hell is he dressing like Michael P.S. Hayes in the Hardy Boy when he managed the Hardy Boys? I don't understand. What's the deal? What's happening with Braun Strowman dressing like Michael P.S. Hayes now? He's going to come out there and he's going to be like, doot.
I'm trying to see it.
I got the picture.
I got the picture, but I don't see the syringe. Where does
The
everybody?
one I saw someone circled it.
Yeah, I want to see if I can share it somehow.
Dude, Kushida is he's the.
You're watching it right now?
Yes.
Oh my God, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing.
What was that thing that Ciampa had on his face?
Oh, I can't see it now. It's blurry, but I see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to share this.
That's going to mess up his push. His future is changed now.
Does he have a push to begin with?
No, but he's not going to have. His lack of push is going to remain at this point.
Oh, hang on. This isn't working. Hang on a second.
That's from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's my
That's
your desktop.
What do you got? My desktop, yeah. Let's see if I can
it's right by his beard trimmer.
There you go. If you
Are we
can
allowed
see
to
it.
do this? Can we take that off just in case?
Get rid of that. All right. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's messed up. So he's gone. And,
look, man, maybe he's a diabetic.
There was
It was like, oh well, it's diabetes. He's got insulin.
That's what I was thinking, God. I was like, maybe he's diabetic. We don't know.
Well, all right then. Where was that? There went that whole thing.
So that's what I'm thinking. Is maybe that's why they just announced on Friday that he's wrestling Roman Reigns next Friday. So maybe maybe Roman Reigns will destroy him and take him off television for a while.
Geez, just when you thought that everything was kind of calmed down and all that we had to worry about was lawsuits and stuff.
Well, You'd think that they'd try to give him like a wellness check or something, you know, at this point. If like they have a suspicion, then they should like test him. Right?
He's getting tested, and that's probably what it is they're going to write him off television and say, and then we'll get an announcement on like What Culture or something like that a day later that he failed the wellness policy. And then the 30 days, he'll be gone for 30 days. Was it 30 or 90? 30, right? The first wellness policy violation?
First one, I think is 30.
I don't know. Randy Orton failed like 6 of them, and I still don't understand the rules for him.
It's a 2-3 strike policy. Actually, it's a 3 strikes. You get 3 versions of 3 strikes, and then that's it.
And if you're Randy Orton, just stop. Just please stop. We don't want to fire you.
Suggestion. It's not a policy as much as it's kind of like a please. A wellness please.
Another thing I saw this week, which was a little curious for me, was that Renee Young is coming back to SmackDown next week. There's a anniversary show 1 year on Fox, and here it turns out that WWE is no longer employing Renee Young, but Fox is. Oh. So that's how they're kind of getting away with it, and she's coming back for the anniversary show.
But like, so yeah, why did she leave? Like, what was the point? Was she was offered a job somewhere else, or was it that she was just?
She wasn't happy after the COVID announcement that she had it, you know, and she made the announcement in WWE, like lost her minds because they're like, you're not supposed to tell anybody you have it, and I guess some treatment issues went after that, like probably the way she was treated. And on top of that, Fox is like, well, if you're not happy, and Fox will pay her a lot more money, she's good. And that's great.
She can also do football and stuff for Fox.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She could do actual Fox Sports.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. So good for her. If Fox Sports signed her, great.
Yeah, man. I'll be super stoked for that. If I don't watch football or sports or anything like that, but if she's getting a huge like a deal from Fox, I'm sure they'll be paying more than the WWE would. So yeah, good for her. Good for her. Everybody was just automatically assumed that she was going to show up in AEW because of Moxley, but yeah, if she's doing this for Fox, and then she can still
Foxley.
What?
I said no, Foxley.
His name's John Foxley now. You proud of yourself? You proud of that one?
I was proud of it before I had to repeat it.
Yeah, man. So good for her. Good for Renee Young. Another little bit of good news was the WWE Battleground game that 2K just put out recently. Apparently, the wrestlers in that game are getting a nice little bonus. They're getting an extra $25,000.
Oh, that's good. That's great for them.
Yeah, that's like finally something good money-wise came out of WWE. They're actually getting a little bonus check. So it's very nice. Yeah. It's good to see. After all the they're rebranding the contracts or whatever, so they have to pay them less money, and they fired a bunch of people and this, that, and the other thing. It's we got at least one good thing out of this. So
the game's only like $40 too, or something like that on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's a cheap one.
Yeah, everybody was complaining it's not worth it. I'm like, if it's $40 and it's a little party game, what's everybody complaining about? Because that's basically what it is a wrestling party game.
It feels like it's for children, yeah. And I mean, like, cool. Like, wrestling's for children. Like I said, because the characters are cartoony and the moves are like overdone. It's a party game. You have like 3-4 of your friends in there. You do like a match and like beat each other up while you're drinking and eating pizza and it's fun. Like, I don't know why everybody got so angry over the game and how bad it was or whatever, because it was very one-dimensional. Rick, that reminds me. We should do this more often, the whole like PlayStation thing. We were doing that for a while when the pandemic first started. And I started paying for the PlayStation every month at that point, and I've been paying for it but not using it. So let's get on that.
My good friend Lilac gets high as hell and then invites me to play games online with her. And every time it's after my PlayStation Network is gone. So then I re-up I play with her for 20 minutes, and then she tells me she's too high to play video games anymore. And then I just paid $24 to be online for 3 months. And this happens every year, and I fall for it every year.
Well, I really want to get the Tony Hawk game. I really want to get the Tony Hawk game. I think we should all get it, and the three of us to play, and maybe put it on your YouTube or something, Rick.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would do that. I've been meaning to add some video games to this, just to as soon as I can figure out how to do that. I know I bought like a bunch of equipment, like capture cards and everything else, and I just never got around to doing it.
Well, let's amp up your content, dude. Let's just do it. Let's rock and roll.
Why not?
We should anyway. Like not even though we're discussing on here, I think we should start a Twitch channel.
Okay.
Twitch. I've been thinking about that.
Vince McMahon can't own it.
That's
what I'm just saying we could put this on the Twitch channel, and it might work for streaming too.
Yeah.
And then all of us could see the comments rolling on the side.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. A little peek behind the curtain, folks. Seeing a production meeting live.
Can I say, man, like I do love the Capitol Wrestling Center. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's super duper cool. It looks great. The fact that I watch most of wrestling, I watch on mute because I watch it while we record. And I think that the fans smacking on the fans smacking on the fence. It's like
smacking on a boat.
It's too much. It's just too much. Like they're overdoing it. Like it's like. It's the same thing like that paid extras thing. It just makes you look like you're paid extras on the show, and it's annoying.
I see it as I didn't see that as they're cheering too much for him. I think it's like I don't think they're being told to do that just because it's kind of like I'm trying to think of something to compare it to. But when you're out somewhere and you like the railing shakes, and then somebody else shakes a railing, and then they're all shaking the railings at the same time, and like management has to come out and it's like, hey, could you stop doing that? You're going to break it. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like they're just all to be somebody's gimmick.
Somebody's gimmick. They're like a public health aide, and they're like, hey, excuse me, can you pull your masks up and the thing you're doing with your hands, stop it. You're gonna hurt somebody.
Yeah. So it looks like they're just shaking the whole entire, like the plexiglass and everything. It's just like, that's going to fall. Somebody's going to get hurt. Yeah, man. All right. I think it's about that time, folks. Let's shine that little spotlight that we got here on a certain person or a group of people and make sure they know that they win wrestling.
Who wins wrestling? Blah, 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 blah.
That screen. There we go. What do you guys think? Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Go for it, man.
I want to say Xavier Woods because him coming back from that Achilles, which is huge. But I want to say the New Day all three of them. I'm going to say the New Day, all three of them, like Big E in line for like his big push. Good, dude. That's a win. That's a win for the New Day all the way for me.
So you just go with New Day all together. All of it. Just.
I also would have said Kushida, but then they screwed it up with a run-in finish.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
I'm trying to. I was going to say Big E, but he just called it New Day. I am going to go with. I'm trying to think. Actually, Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens, now that he's profiled with the Fiend, it's like the first time he's been relevant, and because they just dropped the Aleister Black storyline, which made no sense. So seeing Kevin Owens versus the Fiend, and then continuing the storyline with Alexa Bliss, it's cheesy, but it's October and it's Halloween time, so I kind of like how cheesy horror it is. I really like this program, and they had a great closing match to SmackDown. That was really good. Like Kevin got a lot of like really cool offense on the Fiend, even though that
was a great match. It was a really good match.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Kevin. Like I I think he's a very underutilized talent right now in WWE when they need personality bad.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Jim Ross just because he's hilarious in the fact that he just does not give a crap anymore.
How great is it?
Yeah, what's that guy's name? I don't know. Whatever that guy's name is, he's doing a good job.
I thought you were talking about because he tweeted out a picture of like his bulge out of his pants. Like he just tweeted it. Yeah, and like it's just like some old man stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, well, there it is. Okay, I'll take it. like that's like some dementia stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
Women's wrestling for being like old senility that Jim Ross is going senile old man just tweeting out a big old D pic. That's fine.
Well, Ricky Starks came out with Brian Cage this week, and Jim Ross is like, "Oh, there's old Jimmy Stunks. Yeah, that guy." It's like, you mean Ricky Starks? Whatever his name is. That's what I was talking about. He's just like
Jimmy Stunks.
Well, Jimmy Stunks is coming to the ring. I was like, you got it, Ross. That's right.
I love JR now, dude. He just doesn't care at all. It's fantastic. It's so fun. And you know what? He doesn't have to, because when they need him to call the match, he'll call the match. And it'll still be better than anybody else in the business.
Yep. Oh man. All right, that'll about do it for this episode. Mark, you got anything to plug?
Oh, I was on a podcast this week doing ghost stories.
That's right.
I was on Ed, something to do with my sister and this guy, and I told old stories of the bar I worked at for 9.5 years and how haunted that place was. I only told about 5 stories, and I had a few others, but I thought they were the more fun ones.
Yeah. There was quite a few on there that was really cool. I didn't know most of those stories when I used to go to that bar, and I'm glad I didn't, because I probably wouldn't have went. So, Cory, what do you got, man? What do you got to plug?
I also appeared on a podcast called the 1130 Podcast. We talked wrestling. It was all just talk about wrestling. I told a bunch of stories about my time doing extra work with WWE, and talked about how like I had just read Jericho's book and I was like big mark, like too scared to talk to him. But like I think going into it, I was like, oh, I read in his book, he talks about if you ever see me in person, just come up to me and I'll teach you. If you ask me, I'll teach you how to win every arm wrestling match that you ever have. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him that right away. And I also remembered that in his book, he talked about the first time he met Chris Benoit, and he was a fan of Chris Benoit. And he was like, he went, my name's also Chris. And Chris Benoit went, okay. Oh, get out. And I was like, oh, what if I ask him about the arm wrestling thing? And he goes, okay, get out of here. But the whole conversation, check that out. The show's called the 1130 Podcast. Also, my podcast, Evolving with Cory Castle. Check it out on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Available now on Amazon Music. I'm pretty psyched about the future of it. I mean, I got podcasts recorded that are coming out till December at this point. So I'm psyched. I'm psyched about the future. And, if you like what we're putting out, if you like Evolving with Cory Castle, absolutely leave us some comments on the YouTube videos on here, on Rick's YouTube channel, or, leave us a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, comments, whatever, comment, rate, subscribe, and, keep enjoying wrestling. Absolutely.
Very much, man. Very cool. Enjoy that wrestling. While you're enjoying wrestling, listen to my other podcast, because you should enjoy that as well.
That's not about
it's not about wrestling. We did just have Mark on. That was cool. We had my friend Sarah Brady on the night before. We were talking all kinds of ghost stories. It's that time of year, folks. We're all getting all a little spooked. So yeah, check out It's Something to Do. It's on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, check out the Teespring store for this podcast. You can buy some merch for us. It's teespring.com/stores/Rassle-Rock. All those proceeds go to different charities, so you can help somebody out. And my YouTube channel, check it on out, man. It's tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor at CONNOR. There you can find a whole bunch of pro wrestling, man. There's, I just found another Adam Cole match that I didn't know I had. I just found a Joe Gacy match I didn't know I had. We were just talking about that guy. So, new video goes up every single day. So check it out. And please subscribe, for the love of God. I know you're watching. 90% of the damn people that watch the videos aren't subscribed. It costs nothing, and it doesn't inconvenience you whatsoever. It just helps me out. Please click subscribe.
This is the amount of effort that it takes.
Yeah, it's literally tapping a button. That's all it is. It's one extra click. You're doing nothing else. Please, for the love of God.
See some of those matches, you get crazy views on some of those matches, and like the subscription.
Yeah, right up
there. Views.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's a little nuts, man. But please subscribe. Comment on the videos if you like. Like some of the videos if you like. It all helps me out. And I can keep on doing this, and I can keep on bringing stuff to you guys for free. A whole bunch of free content and free pro wrestling for you. And there's never anything wrong with that.
With your free lunch.
With your free lunch. Enjoy your free lunch, you filthy animals. That'll about do it for this episode of Rassle Rock. I'm Rick Connor.
Mark.
Cory Castle.
Mark. Let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Rassle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.